Alright, so now we're on chapter 2, The Japanese Man in Hawaii. Now this chapter starts off with a girl riding on a bicycle. She introduces herself as Kate's friend to Jodio. She has an exam this weekend and wants some of quote-unquote that. Jodio brushes her aside by saying he doesn't know any Kate. Before she leaves, however, Jodio tells her to put some money she owes into an empty juice can. Now the girl has $100 and wants to know how much product she can get. Nevertheless, Jodio thinks she's kinda sus. In fact, he suspects that she's a cop. He wonders if she shoved a camera or mic into the headlights of the bike. And perhaps she's even working with the ice cream shop guy. Despite this, he tells her to put the money in the can. Perturbed by this treatment, the girl decides she doesn't want to do business. She then says that police officers are people of justice, so they can't lie. So if they were doing an undercover investigation and they were caught lying, the evidence would be invalidated. Therefore, if he simply asked her if she's a police officer, she would have to say, "Yes, I am." "Are you a police officer?" asked Jodio. "No, I'm not a police officer. I'm just a college student," says the girl. Jodio then tells her to walk towards the King Kamehameha statue, which she does. Paco then comes by and says that she stepped on something. And upon looking down, she sees a bag of drugs. She then pulls out a gun and says that she's with the DEA. Jodio is taken down by several officers as he can't believe what just happened. Turns out that the woman was recording the whole conversation. Now the two of them are just small fries. The DEA is after their boss. She then tells the officers to read them their rights. Now it turns out that the officer that's holding down Jodio is the same officer that pulled them over the other day. And it turns out that he likes the feeling of touching Dragona's ass, knowing full well that Dragona is a male. In fact, he'd like for Jodio, or especially Dragona, to lick his cock. Raindrops suddenly appear, destroying the incriminating evidence. Now, being that they're not stand users, they're helpless to do anything against Jodio's stand. On an unrelated note, Jodio has an antisocial personality disorder, meaning he might be a psychopath. Barbara Ann, his mother, was in disbelief when she heard this, but Jodio said he'd be careful. "I'm about to lose my shit," claims Jodio. We next see the main group at the Hawaii Kona airport. Usagi was supposed to secure a car for them, but he suggests that they split the price. Now, Usagi is 17, Dragona is 18, Paco is 19, and Jodio is 15. The four of them get in the car and begin their mission. Now, it turns out that the Japanese man's house is still occupied at the moment, but he's all alone with no other guest. And because of this, he'll most likely be spending his time at the pool. Now, Jodio's going to keep watch while the others go inside and retrieve the diamond. And they're going to concentrate their efforts on the master bedroom. Jodio then spots a cat on the premises, as he urges the others to remain patient. Dragona says he wants a camera, as Usagi unveils his stand ability, and it's called Mat Kudasai. It takes an existing object and transforms it into something you want. Okay, we're going in. We then see the Japanese man swimming in the pool. While using his binoculars, Jodio immediately recognizes the man. "I have his books at home, and I always watch his anime online. He's a mangaka, and the target's name is Kishibe Rohan." So very exciting chapter, guys. We had the drug deal in which Jodio and Paco got caught. That was kind of humorous. I have a feeling that this police officer is probably going to show up numerous times throughout the manga. He's not going to be a major villain or anything like that, but he's just going to be a nuisance that kind of always seems to bother them at the worst time. We finally got a name for the hot dog guy. That's basically what everyone was calling him on Reddit. So we finally got a name for the hot dog guy. His name is Usagi, and he's got a pretty cool stand ability. I really like this one. It's going to be really versatile in the future, so I can't wait to see how he sort of manipulates objects and turns them into something else. And of course, the big reveal of the chapter is that Kishibe Rohan is in the Steel Ball universe. Which is kind of weird because we've seen similar characters show up in the Steel Ball universe, but they're slightly different. They're not the same character. They might have the same name, they might look the same, but they're different. You know, Johnny Joestar was a reference to Jonathan Joestar. We had a Joseph Joestar that was very similar to Joseph Joestar from the original universe. So we've had these characters that are somewhat similar, but not exactly the same, and yet Kishibe Rohan is exactly the same as far as we could tell. So does this mean that he's aware of the original universe? Because he is a mangaka after all, and this might allow him to somewhat break the fourth wall in a way? I don't know. I mean, how is this character going to play a role in this? Who the heck knows? But very fascinating insight, guys. Tell me what you guys thought of this chapter. Tell me what you thought of the big reveal. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already.